more Turbo IS300 stuff today. I've got my buddy Cody hooking up the laptop. He's gonna scope the wires I ran, and we can figure out what's going on. Well, so far here's what we found. You can see the crank angle like normal, and then it gets to, what is this? Gets to 460 degrees and then just drops off, goes back down to like 200, and it basically just repeats that cycle over and over. The crank never goes to a full 720 or whatever it's supposed to go to. It drops off at 460 every time when we get the crank error, and that's why it's not syncing. But the crank sensor is new, the crank wheel is new, and we don't know why that's happening. And the wiring in that whole circuit is also new. All been replaced. So after spending probably 4 or 5 hours troubleshooting that stupid cam crank issue that I've been having, we checked all the circuitry, we checked everything, and then we go back and double check the brand new sensor, the crank sensor that I had installed. And turns out we tried to ohm it out, and it read about 2,600 ohms. Unplugged from any wiring. I actually pulled the sensor out and held it in my hand and ohmed it out, and it read 2,600 ohms, and it's a brand new sensor. So if you don't know, the 2JZ crank sensor should read between 800 and 1,600 ohms cold. So 2,600 ohms that it was reading at is just way high. Call around, and I couldn't find a extra crank sensor locally. So Cody was nice enough to let me go to his shop and pull the crank sensor off of his fully built engine that's still on a stand. It's not in a car yet. So kind of ran out of time because where the car is, I can't really work there at my own time. I'm on someone else's schedule. So I have another sensor, crank sensor from Toyota, legit. I bought it from the dealer for Cody, so it's a legit sensor from Toyota dealership that I can put in there, but I need to get access to the car again. Anyway, so the sensor that I got that failed, the brand new sensor, is from an AutoZone, so maybe that's why it's not good. It's got a lifetime warranty on it, but no one carries them in stock, so no one could get me a sensor, within the hour. So I couldn't test it out today. So everything else checked out though. We scoped the wires, cam is good. All of the circuitry that I ran is all good except for that sensor. So hopefully the sensor, the sync issue that we're having is because that sensor is bad. I can hopefully in the next couple of days, maybe even tomorrow, I can go put in the sensor I pulled off of Cody's engine to see if that starts the car up. If it does, boy, am I going to be pissed, because all of that happened because I got a defective sensor from AutoZone. I know it wouldn't be the first time, and I know I shouldn't be using AutoZone sensors, especially for a cam and crank sensor on a 2J, but literally not even the Toyota dealers had it locally. It would have been like an hour drive away, and an AutoZone a mile away from the shop had a sensor, so I went there and bought it. The same day I put the new trigger wheel on, so I was hoping I could rely on AutoZone, but I guess I'll let you guys know what happens if that was the issue. But hopefully in the next couple of days here, I can put the car back together with the new crank sensor I pulled off of Cody's engine, and we will hopefully fire the car up. It should be good. Everything else checks out. We don't know what it is. So even the wires scoped out good. So literally, we don't know. It's got to be this crank sensor. So wish me luck, and till next time.
That was the best one yet. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm so glad I was rolling for that.
As much as I love the two-step, we should stop doing that in front of my house.
Yeah.